full. Ah, cool. Random CS crash. Why not? Everyone loves a random CS crash. Let me just load back in then. Sick. Alright, so it's going to be Mirage first. I'll just show you the warm-up, why not? Oh, I'm having a mare here, guys. I'm having a mare. One sec. Do you ever have those days where everything you do is just incorrect? I'm having that day today, boys. That day is today. Anyway, we are into the server, as you can see. Warm-up still, though, don't worry. Chill your beans, we're not live. We haven't missed any of the action. So, you will notice a couple things. One is that, don't worry, LMBT is not playing. He's the coach for Mouse, and he will not be playing. Are you okay? But Nex is in instead of Oscar. Now, this was put up on HLTV earlier today. You've probably seen it on Reddit as well. That Oscar has been benched due to personal problems or personal reasons. Not entirely sure why. And instead, Nex will be stepping in for him. So, not sure how long that's going to be for. Indefinitely, I believe, was the word that was used. So, we'll just have to wait and see. Sounds delayed. If you've got no sync on sound, guys, refresh your stream. It is a known issue. Smash that refresh button, guys. Trust me, it'll work. Oh, that knife is... That knife is a bit sexy. I'm going to go back and next round. Rumor is his mother passed away. Oh, it sucks, dude. If that's why, completely understandable why he's taking some time out.
Terrorists win.
Don't worry, LMBT's not playing, guys. He's just stepping in. As you can see right here, we have all the members of Mouse on the server. As soon as we go live, you'll see it'll go back into normality again. Chris J is on the server right now, you can see there on the scoreboards. Don't you worry yourself. What's up, Jefferson? Cheers, dude. Although my voice is getting wrecked off this cold, but hopefully we'll be good to go. Yeah, I think Oscar really could work with Mouse. It may just take a little while longer. Obviously, if he's going to be benched anyway for a while, then it seems that was a mutual decision, by the way, or at least, like, you know, Oscar saying, look, boys, bench me. I'm assuming that's the way it is. Of course, it's a bit of speculation. But I don't see any reason why that roster couldn't work. I mean, genuinely, they definitely struggled. Oscar struggled in particular. He didn't have the kind of performance that I know he'd have been hoping for and that I've seen him do in the past. He was at DreamHack Tours when I first cast him at LAN, when he's playing for Hellraisers, and he was absolutely unbelievable. The stuff he was pulling off was honestly disgusting. So if you can bring that form to mousesports and then have Nico performing as well, then this is a lineup that could terrorize a lot of teams for sure. But that's not going to be the case today. Let's see how Nex factors in. He is going to be taking point for his team, looking like it's going to be an A hit with 2 smokes, so the execute will be into fruition with Nico off by himself. Remember the good old days when Nico would buy deagles in T rounds. Those days are long gone. Just the Glock for now. So here comes the A play. Viali will be doing what he can. Actually, he eats a lot of damage. I believe that's from Chris J's Glock. Down to 12, he will fall. So he has to be very wary and careful as to what he's going to be pushing in now. HE in the hands of Neo. Virtus.Pro actually have 4 decoys, which is pretty interesting. They do pick up decoys a lot. One of the only teams that really do that, honestly, on both sides. So they'll be throwing that now. Hoping for a couple of fake flashes to deter the terrorists' vision. Speedy, in the meanwhile, eats a grenade to the face, down to 53, and lands the frag onto Taz. Very nicely done. In the meanwhile, it's a bit of a bloodbath as the last 2 remaining CTs trying to funnel their way onto the site, but all they're going to meet is mousesports Glocks to the forehead. 2 kills for Speedy, 2 kills for Dennis, and 1 for Nex. We'll see mousesports take the first pistol and put VP into a force buy. Taz with his CZ, couple of Deagles, and Snacks filling out with the 5.7. So solid assortment of pistols for the Poles. And a 3-2 set for AKs and UMPs. So it's pretty solid. Standard, I just said salad there. That makes absolutely no sense. Yeah, this is pretty solid, boys. Sick casting, 10 out of 10. Pretty standard for both teams. And very much a heavy A set for VP. Just Pasha by himself on B for now, forever alone. Billy no mates over there. Oh, Bialy. He's close and he lands the headshot and finishes it off onto Nico. Down he goes. A decent opening pick, but with Pasha being all by his lonesome, here comes the push. How many players can he find and kill? The Deagle is ripping out, but it's not going to get any frags. In the meanwhile, Taz is going to tap across with the CZ from Connector. That's going to be good for the 1 kill. Pasha gets the assist. Now surely the terrorists will come in together, and I like that teamwork there actually. Nex ducking, Dennis shooting over his head. That could have got really messy if Nex stood back up again. Bialy, who started this round, is going to have to try and finish it for the CTs. CZ still in hand, 14 HP, but Nex and Dennis very close to death. They may actually wait for some exit frags here. There's no chance of him getting this clutch. What's up, Lightbulb? How you doing? Yeah, if you have issues with sync, guys, refresh your stream. It will work, don't worry. Yeah, Bialy's going to save. He's got a CZ and a Molly, so got a fair chunk of equipment value to save. As you can see at top, 3.1k to be precise. So no real reason for him to throw this away. Gives him a little bit of power into the next round, but yeah, likely will only be Bialy that has anything going through here. I expect to see the full save, especially on the CT side. If this is the terrorist side, maybe they'd go for another P250 or something and skimp out on a grenade or two, but on the CT side, you really can't afford to do that, so it is just going to be the CZ and the Molotov. And once again, it's going to be 4-1 formation. This time, though, Pasha is going to be going to A with the rest of his team, just Neo on B. And it should be a massacre, with mousesports taking a 3rd round. What if you have sound desyncs on mobile? Then, Evil, you are screwed. I'm sorry, bro. I don't know. I have no idea. Oscar was removed from mousesports. He wasn't. He's just been benched due to personal problems. Which could stretch a variety of things. So, you can speculate all day long. I'm not entirely sure what the official reason will be. Maybe it'll come out eventually. But for now, he's not playing and Nex is stepping in. He's still a part of mousesports, is my understanding, just on the bench. Oscar and Nico had a fight and Oscar got beat up. Seems legit, bro. Speed of the spray, and that's going to be VP. Now starting to hemorrhage kills. Again, it's going to be this split formation. Mouse going in first with Chris J and his CZ. Expendable weapon. If he dies here, it's fine. And indeed, he will die. We'll give a CZ across, but honestly, no big deal. The rest of mousesports now onto the B site with Speedy moving up mid. Very stragglers, and he's going to pick himself up a frag onto Neo. Looking for a second one. Lands the headshot Calmly done. Nice accuracy on that play. Have I spoke too soon? Is Pasha really about to get the better of him? Yes, he is. Oh dear, Speedy. That is a kill you should never be losing out on. And now Taz maybe could salvage the Tech 9. It's not looking likely. It's Dennis, the next player to take him down. Dennis was caught in two minds as to where that silent spray was coming from. Eventually corrects himself, and our VP will have a buy. Not going to be great. It won't include an AWP. We've seen Snacks taking the AWP in recent times for Virtus.Pro. That's been for quite some time now, so he's a player expecting to see it with in the future. Of course, Pasha can use it, Neo can also use it. So VP's first buy round is actually going to be fairly scarce in terms of grenades, opting to for firepower instead. This cost them some nades, but more importantly, maybe a kit. Going through into the latter stages of this round, mousesports are a team that you expect to get on the sights at the very least. I do love the new M4A1S sounds, I'm going to be honest. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of it, but I love that. It's a very realistic sound as well. Sounds good, man. The sound of the reload when you put the mag in. Oh, dude, so good. So smokes are connecting. Taz lands the headshot, but it's not enough to fend off Nex, who is going to be filling in those shoes pretty promisingly so far. Landing that frag. Snacks is now going to be pushing through the smoke. Gets the better of Nex, who's completely flashed out. Couldn't see a single thing. And meanwhile, Mouse will try and retaliate in kind onto the A side, but Ramp is going to get locked down courtesy of Bialy. This is a decent crossfire being established from Virtus.Pro. Chris J's been spotted. Tries to fire back with the AWP. Not going to land anything just yet. And now this is looking pretty poor for the terrorists. Ball on Chris J. Down he goes. They're going to be able to salvage the AWP as well and give that across to Snacks. In fact, Snacks just picks up outright, and VP finally get themselves around. mousesports will be able to buy, but both Speedy and Dennis have a decision to make. I assume Tech 9 Deagle armor for one of them, and maybe a Galil for the other. Actually just goes for the outright AK, so Dennis not going to be running with any nades into this round. But Speedy going for the Tech 9 actually will have enough on him, so no problems. Nate scrapes the shoulder of Stacks for 22. Smoke is going to make him have the ability to jump across now and relocate to the rest of his team. But now mousesports will be coming on in. Bialy's caught in no man's land, had no cover at all. The flash is also stopping the other CTs from getting themselves through the smoke. And there's Dennis, just goes for the preemptive spray through it. Lands the headshot onto Snacks. This is looking so horrible for VP. Neo is going to perform a surgical strike from short, but that's probably all he's going to get out of this round. It's going to come down to Pasha as well. Nade's not good enough to fend it off, and Speedy with a pretty nice flick there at the end. Couldn't see a great deal of the player as the grenade detonates in front of him, but Pasha should be able to save this M4. So, mousesports in firm control over Mirage thus far on their T side have looked very good indeed. And Pasha's about to walk into a bunch of enemy players. And there you go. It's going to be Chris J that puts him down. Of course, because I had to restart my game because it crashed, now you've got all this show profile stuff at the bottom. GG, well played. Sick. I want to see some predictions, boys. We've got Mirage and Cobblestone, I believe, tonight. What do you reckon? Assuming this is going to be a bit of a throwaway round for VP, they have by and large very little coming into this. So I want to see the chat to let me know what they think is going to happen here. Bialy getting his kneecaps blown out to 15 health. In a lot of pain, but still alive for now. A VP easy 2-0. Okay. 16-10 mouse on this map. No, it's not a best of 3. There's 2 maps today. As expected, this round is going the way of mouse. It's going to be Nex who's padding his stats with 3 kills. Has lost 64 health, but is still doing the damage. Here comes Neil with 2 quick fire P250 frags. Is he good for any more? No, he's not, but not through a lack of trying. Neo has been, honestly, probably the standout player alongside Snacks over the last few weeks / months. I mean, back at Bucharest, casting him a couple times there. Definitely the MVP of the tournament. He was unbelievably good. Pulled off some of the most ridiculous clutches that we've seen in Counter-Strike, at least over the last year or so. And you got to feel, with a start like this on Mirage, they'll be hoping that Neo can dip into that form and bring it back here today. Pasha goes looking at Dennis, dispatches him through the smoke. The AK stray bullet is all it requires. Chris J, overkill onto Stacks. 400 plus damage to the cranium. Rip in pieces, quite literally, Snacks. And mousesports bringing this round to a bit of a standstill now. You can see the bomb actually isolated from the two players who've made a move onto the B side. That's in the hands of Chris here with the AWP. But now it seems they are very much aware of what's happening. The thing is, though, that Dennis is out on B-apps, but he doesn't necessarily have a full representation of an idea as to what's actually happening over there. And now that Neo's came up and done a lot of damage onto Nico, it's going to keep them into 2 mines. Now they're going to push out. That's into the embracing arms of Taz, who's good for one frag. Looking for a second one, goes for the spray, not quite connecting. But Nico is down to 6 as the bomb gets planted. Bjarly trading out to an M4. He's going to pick up the 1 kill. And now it's on Nex. This kill is very, very important. If he can pick up Neo, it puts them in such a good place. And Nex is looking on good form today. Landing some solid shots, quick reaction speed, aim on point. And now Bjarly taps out, says, alright boys, you got this 6th round. Let me just try and keep on to this M4. At mousesports, go from strength to strength. Pasha, 1 and 6. Needs to step things up. A player that performed pretty solidly at New York just a few days prior. Again, though, I'm saying, I mean, you think of what VP have gone through this last couple of days. Like playing for, what was it, 5 or 6 hours on the final day? And then travelling back from New York back to Poland, where I assume they're playing from right now. That's a pretty mad few days. So I don't know. I don't know how mentally prepared they are for this match. See there, everyone barring Nico and Chris are in for a whole bunch of frags, but honestly they haven't really been needed. They haven't been called upon. Because the frags have been very quickly slipping away. Snack's not going to get the 1 tap. Nico's there with the frag. Opens up mid that little bit more. You can see here that Pasha, there's a leaning tower of biceps with him and Neo. Neo's there with the P250, not expecting a player to be up in their face at that kind of an angle. Nico's looking for a second one. What is that shot? Nex gets completely destroyed, and Neo now has his hands on an AK. God Neo is alive and well. Can mousesports break through? Neo goes for another peek and lands the shot. That was through aim punch as well. He did get tagged, but I assume it's partially through the wall, down just 2 health. At least it looked like he got tagged. It may have been in the prior confrontation, actually, when the nade came out, so I'm not entirely sure on that one. But what we do know is it's a 2-on-3, and VP have the player advantage. And there we go. It's going to be coming down to Virtus.Pro. Neo gets the final frag, lands a 4K in the end. And we were talking before about how Virtus.Pro needed Neo to dip into that form that we've seen him recently. Well, that was a glimpse. A brief glimpse into what he's capable of doing. Bjarly and Taz may very well see the action here over on the A side. All 5 mousesports players will be residing in ramp and just outside of it, so I suggest we're going to see some kind of an execute coming in, and indeed we will. Here we go. Dennis is going to take a point for his team, but he could very well get picked off first. No, Nex is going to get the first kill. A lot of damage has been traded back and forth, though, between the two teams, and that Molly's going to get extinguished. Chris J tries to throw it to make sure none of the CTs push through, otherwise they're going to get themselves quite toasty. Meanwhile, Dennis pushing through the smoke lands the frag onto Snacks, and mousesports just with an electrically fast, explosive round, somewhat catching VP unawares. Speedy can now train his attention over onto the CT boxes where Neo is. There's the second frag. Taz and Neo going big once again. Neo's tapping his way to victory. He must know that Nex is low and Nex has gone down. It now all comes down to Dennis, who's in the perfect position to strike. I believe the bomb is actually planted for him, but the smoke is now landing, so he has to actually push through this one right now, but he lands the double headshots. Nico with the clutch. A round that was back and forth until the bitter end. And it was mousesports that just KO VP in the nick of time. And our VP's economy is in the dumps. 1400 on Pasha, 1500 on Taz. And this will be a save. They could afford to get a couple of upgraded pistols on Bjarly and Snacks, but that's it. That round was so up in the air right until the last couple of seconds, where Nico decided, alright boys, my turn to step up. 7-2, and this should be at least 8-2. VP aren't going to have a great buy in the next round either. I think his exchange, we can see just how little that does to Speedy. Just 11 health. Like a mosquito against a windshield. More of a nuisance than anything else. This round somewhat coming to a standstill now after the early aggression and confrontation up mid, with mousesports definitely respecting what VP could potentially throw their way, not wanting to take anything for granted. Two players going to be pushing that way over to the A side with 35 seconds left. More of a fake than anything else, try and clean up the CTs and push around the back. Through the ramp side, that's going to be both Nico and potentially Nex, who's thought better of this. He's actually going to go back towards the T side right now. So, mousesports will get a stranglehold over B. Nico gets decimated in midair. Does give an AK-47 across to the CT side, something to play with. But the bomb has been planted. No reason to save this USP on either Neo or Taz, so I assume they will go in, see what they can get done here. Or they may very well just try and defend the AK-47. Both are worthwhile endeavours, honestly. I'm sure the P250 could do some damage as well on the cross, but this is, as expected, going through into the start of this round, a mousesports round. 8-2 they will lead already on Mirage, and this is quickly getting out of control for Virtus.Pro. Their economy is in a place where, due to the fact they picked up with the Eagle and they're going to save the AK-47, they actually can buy a pretty decent buy at that, but it's not going to be fantastic. 3.3k on Pasha, so you can see the importance of saving the AK-47 there for VP. They can actually drop across, and indeed they will. They drop across and then forward to Pasha. Bjarly will retain the AK, and now Taz can, has a choice for a few weapons, but he's going to go for the UMP. Makes sense. Flash on point, but Neo gets obliterated by it too, and Snacks is going to return fire. And meanwhile, through connector before that smoke blooms up and blocks his vision. So 1-for-1 trade, ordinarily you'd say would favour the terrorist, but Speedy has a bit of damage here. And now Taz can exchange his UMP for the assault rifle. So that is a pretty decent passage of play for Virtus.Pro. Bjarly spray down on point. Nico's going to fall down. Snacks point blank range AWP shot. That's going to leave a mark as Nex is eviscerated. And Snacks with a second. Can he get a third? Not quite. But Dennis will get silenced straight afterwards. 3-8. Doesn't necessarily paint the full picture of this match, though. There's been a lot of rounds that have been back and forth and very hard to call. It hasn't been an 8-3 clean sweep by any stretch of the imagination. And now, as you can see, I mean, what highlights that is the fact that mousesports, after winning a couple of rounds, are now into an eco themselves. Goes to show how many casualties these rounds are giving up for both teams. Snacks looking for the peak. Ooh, shifts a bit too soon there. will be disappointed because the player who actually peeked out was certainly looking like he'd fall by the wayside. Even more VP hold firm on A. Pretty much a split approach in the hands of the terrorists. mousesports all across the map and getting picked off all across the map. So Virtus.Pro looking good for a 4th round. Just what the doctor ordered. But they're going to have to do something they've really been unable to do so far on their CT side, and that's get back-to-back rounds. This is the first time, unless Christian can pull off a miracle with a deagle, this is the first time we've seen them actually get 2 rounds back-to-back. For me, they're going to have to finish this half with at least 6 rounds. I'll give them a real fighting chance in the second half. Of course, it's Virtus.Pro, so even with like 4 or 5 rounds, you never quite know with them. But I feel 6 rounds would be a decent enough result, especially how this map's been going back and forth so much. 7, of course, would be the dream from this point on. Okay then, camera, just don't switch across. Why not? Next is here though anyway with the spray. Not able to transfer it. And Virtus.Pro will take up the 13th round. Pretty easy overall. I mean, why would it switch? It's only a bunch of kills going down on A. Let's look at the scoreboard then, shall we? Neo 13 and 9, Yarly 12 and 5, Next 12 and 7, and Dennis 11 and 8. Next continues to be the boss of mid, but this is an eco that they're up against, so can't really get too carried away right now. Oh, Neo with a double spray. I mean, mousesports did effectively just run into that head first, which is never a good idea when there's bullets involved, but unfortunately they didn't have too many other options. Just pistols, all stuck in BAPs. Neo with the perfect timing. Triple kill for him as he propels himself further yet on top of the scoreboard. 16 to 9 now. How do you feel being called NA Anders? Death King TV could be a whole lot worse. I love me some Anders. I'm fine with it. I don't like this caster. Put the other ESL ones on. Man, people get butthurt about free entertainment, don't they? Mute the stream, bros. You'll survive. So, oh, it's big Papa biceps. And he's going to get wrecked. So, do a barrel roll. Breaks his neck on the fall down. 10 out of 10 for landing. Big opening pick. It's been a while since we've seen Pasha in a position like that with the AWP. And second frag goes down, so Virtus.Pro, after starting to scrape together some rounds at the bitter end of this half, are starting to struggle a little bit to get over the finish line, at least for 7 rounds. Neon, the meanwhile, has been the main man. He's been the talisman, the playmaker, if you will, for Virtus.Pro, but that's a lot of utility that's just been expended. In fact, he's got nothing left to play with now, and he's not even sure if a player is scampered across onto the B side, so you can see from his movements he has no idea what's up against him. The call clearly that players could be on B, and that's going to leave Snacks by himself now over on the A side, and mousesports are playing this one very slowly. The thing is, though, ordinarily I would be totally fine with this, but the fact that Neo is caught in so many different minds, if they just pushed in aggressively there, they could have definitely caught VP off guard. It's important to mention, of course, they have no idea that Neo is that confused. So that's just the benefit of the bird's eye view that we have here, observing the players in action. Kill has gone down, but Bjarly answers back. Bjarly is the next to fall. It's all on Neo. No reason for him to save. Last round of the half. Are we going to see some magic again from the veteran? Pretty much has to wait until his smoker's got out of his face before he can start to face. But probably it's there. There's 2 AWPs against him. So he's a dead man. And it's Nico that makes Swiss cheese of him. Half will end 9 to 6 with mousesports taking the lead as they move across to the CT side. Pretty damn good round to finish off the half, and mousesports will be very happy with this. VP though still in it. I said I think 6 rounds would be the bare minimum that they needed. 7 of course would be even better, but this does give them a fighting chance, especially if they get this pistol. So I'm going to get myself a quick drink, guys. I'm getting wrecked by a cold currently. And I'll just mute the microphone. You guys can watch the warm-up in the background. So I know you guys prefer watching that than necessarily listening to music. So I will be right back. Of course, I say warm-up, but then everyone's just AFKing, so that's pretty sweet. Not awkward at all. Who do I think the best casting duo is? Man, in CS we're spoiled. Honestly, we have so many good duos. I would say all the top 3 duos are absolutely awesome what they do. I mean, I feel like I'm sitting on the fence, but I'm really not. I think they all bring very different aspects of what you're looking for in a casting duo to the table. There's definitely a case to be made that James and Dan have really started to prove how much they're ready for a finals, but then the same could be said for Matt and Henry. And you've got Anders and Semler, who are the bosses of duos. When it comes to raw hype, they're probably the casting duo that I enjoy listening to the most. It's all personal preference. They're all really good though. We're in a position where it's a really cool position to be in, where any of those 3 duos, if you took them into another game, and obviously if they had the same level of passion and understanding of a different game, they'd probably be at the top of any game they went into. Honestly, I feel that way. CS is very fortunate with the amount of casting talent they have and how good the casting talent is overall. If there were no duos, who would I like to cast with? I really enjoyed casting with Anders at Bucharest. You know, the 2 Anders, 1 desk. I think people seem to enjoy that as well. That'd be pretty cool. Any of them would be great to work with, though. I've never actually casted with James Bardolph before. I think he's like the one top-tier caster that I haven't worked with yet in CS. I've worked with everyone else apart from James. But if I had to pick of anybody, like not including sort of location or what other events that they're currently busy with, probably Moses. Moses was awesome to cast with. I prefer Hugo about anything. No love for you, Metis. What? Even Inglando, bro. Did you work with Joe Miller? I haven't worked with Joe Miller, but Joe isn't an active CS caster anymore. Alright, looks like we are live, guys. Between Virtus.Pro and mousesports, second half of the very first map. We have Cobblestone coming up after this. So still a lot of CS to come up, but it's very surprising to me that VP would actually face mid against USPs, but somehow, someway, it came out for now in the upper hand. That is absolutely nuts. Maybe just a case of the strength in numbers approach, and if there's that many bullets firing down range, it's likely one's going to hit to the head, and that would be certainly what happened in this round. But now it's all on Nex coming back into the lineup, and Pasha will just destroy him with the Glock. So VP pick up the second pistol. Pretty sure that, yeah, I'm Metis. How you doing? Two Mac 10s, Glil, an AKs. So VP, pretty heavy investment into this round. The MAC-10s, though, likely will be going in first. Here comes Nico. 2 1-taps, 3 1-taps. Oh my goodness, he's opened this up so nicely for the rest of his team. Just Nico things. And now Neo with his AK-47 walking over the corpses of his comrades. Wondering what the actual hell just happened. It is Neo. He's got an AK. He's against pistols with no Kevlar, but Nico with 3 1-taps up mid, single-handedly giving mousesports the round and saying, look, boys, if you can't get this round, I'm off. I'm done. See you later. Just win this round. And it's pretty much an apt description visually as to what Nico Sports really is. But can Mouse capitalize, or is Neo going to ruin the party? He has the bomb. He has full nades by and large. And full health. "35 seconds left. Not leaving anything to chance. Checking every corner. Hasn't seen anything. This is going to be so frustrating right now. All of his utilities being expended, but it's the wrong side. Of course, there's no way of him knowing this. And now the screw will start to turn. He actually flashes himself partially there. Going to be coming round. Dennis is jumping up and down. How's Neo not hearing this? He finally has heard it and does a lot of damage onto Dennis, but Dennis takes him down by half. So he's actually done his job for this round, you have to assume. And now Neo is so low. He's being tagged up and Speedy finishes him off. And Nico's work has not gone unpunished. mousesports will take a 10th and break the hearts of the Poles.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. VP have a decision. They want to go for force or just save. Honestly, in a round like that, it wouldn't make much sense to force up, because normally a lot of teams would force here if they thought that the CTs had low economy. When you've just won an eco, they know there's a massive boom of economy that's just got into the back pockets of the CTs. So even if they lose this round, they're going to have a potential buy for next. Chris J. I mean, Dennis could force up with UMP or something like that, so it's definitely not a worthwhile endeavor. And then that could put mousesports into 11 or 12-7 lead. So I like the VP have held on here, haven't shot in with a force buy. And our VP going to try their best just to get a bomb plant. That's pretty much the goal they have in mind. Dennis again, forever on the CT side of the boxes, doing the damage. They're trying to plant the bomb in the smoke. Snacks is going to go for it. The smoke is cleared. And although he spins around in circles hoping for the best, his prayers have not been answered. As Chris J will send him to his mate, get a little headshot. VP have a buy. mousesports continue to punish the terrorists. This is a pretty key round, though. If he loses, they're going to be in all sorts of trouble. Potential 2-for-1 round as well. So Chris actually jumping out of the window, looking up to mid. A bit ballsy, doesn't get punished. No one's even home in mid right now. Pasha's the closest. I doubt he's going to peek up mid anytime soon. He's mainly just watching for what's about to come in. And that's that a CT player may very well push in. Chris J, if Pasha peeks again, he's probably a dead man. Chris J's right there. I think Pasha knows this. Speed in the meanwhile is doing damage. And of course, as soon as the camera goes away, Pasha is going to get silenced. Speed in the meanwhile, he's going to pick himself up the kill onto Neo. Leaving it at 2-on-5. And Taz and Bialy, as good as they are, I just can't see them get anything done out of this round. It's just got a whole lot worse. Bialy forever alone in ramp. And to add insult to injury, unless Bialy can go on a bit of a tear here and take some of these kills away, and keep in mind the bomb is down in mid, so all of the aggression has to come from Bialy's side. But mousesports didn't lose a single player, so you can see their economy now is in such a good position, whereas Virtus.Pro's is really in a tenuous one. Mid-2000s, as opposed to upwards of 7k on Dennis, upwards of 6k for Nex. Nico speeding not too far behind him. So I said before, that last one was pretty much a 2-for-1 round. Has proved to be the case unless these P250s can go to work. He's scraping by Taz. Does take quite a bit of his shoulder off in the process. Christian, with one of the easiest frags he'll land today, managed to back away as well. As of course, now that Oscar isn't on the team, it's important to mention as well that could free up Christian to start AWPing more again. Nico typically only picks it up when it's required. Speaking of Nico, there's the 1 kill. Taz is still waiting for his opportune moment to strike. Get the top one to Nico, but that's pretty much going to be a drop in the ocean as far as mousesports are concerned. They have lost a second player, but Pasha unable to get his hands on the weapon, and Snacks is already making moves elsewhere through Kitchen. Interesting he's even got into this position in the first place. Next clearly has no idea he's behind him. And now Snacks can hear the movements. He's going to land the first frag, looking for the second one, but Chris Chase up will pick up his 3rd kill of the round. 13-7 now. Another buy, but this was one of the last chances Virtus.Pro will have on Mirage if they're unsuccessful. Look at that scoreboard. That's beautiful for mousesports. 3 kills between Dennis, who's top, and Chris J, who's bottom in terms of frags. That was a tap, I believe, though. Actually, no, he's just shooting out the window panel. I thought he tagged one of his teammates by accident. Again, I do feel like the exhaustion that Virtus.Pro are probably feeling right now could definitely be contributing to this performance. Take nothing away from mousesports, however. They've been playing really well. Really solid Counter-Strike. Can only beat what's up ahead against you, and they've certainly done that with authority. What mess. Right to the fields. Here comes the execute shortly, and it's going to be Neo skirting his way around the smoke, peering in, can't see anything, goes for the spray, but Bialy gets the first frag. Now Dennis, who's in Ninja, has his work cut out for him, and of course Virtus.Pro are going to check that spot, and Dennis goes down in the blink of an eye. Pasha goes for the plant. The thing is, they go for that plant because Dennis is typically the only player that's been on CT boxes, so as soon as they kill him, it seems like a fairly ballsy plant, but it does make a lot of sense. Next, now, last remaining CT player. The bomb's already been planted. Next going for the spray, lands it, and now it's all on to Snacks, who has to drop onto Next. Easiest of kills in the end. Virtus.Pro will bring us back to 13-8. Still a lot of work ahead of the polls, though. And mousesports have so much fun to play with. Dennis can drop an M4, buy one up himself, equalise the economy somewhat. Chris J can get an AWP. They're not going to go for a double up setup today. And why would they? This 4-1 formation with M4s and AWP has worked out very well so far. No point changing it. No, I don't use the fact they'll be tired as an excuse. The fact is they just flew back from North America. They went from being in the finals of a tournament to flying back to Poland to playing an online match. I think anyone that's travelled that kind of amount in their life would know how much of a bearing that has on you. Chris Shea misses out on a couple of quick fire shots. That's tagged Neo though. Wings him on the cross down. Snacks in a pretty decent position to strike, honestly. Bialy's doing work behind him. Snacks that flashbang, and that flash is going to wreck him. He gets stuck. And that's going to be the round going to mousesports. You could see what Snacks was looking for, but that pop flash lands in his face. And a lot of his position there was based off his teammate as well. He needed his teammate to stay alive. So he didn't have to worry about one of the sides. You can't watch two sides at the same time in completely different positions. That goes without saying. So as soon as his partner in crime dies, that's pretty much the round slipping away. So, P250s and a Deagle. Virtus.Pro likely playing for the overtime here. And in the meanwhile, mousesports. It's just Nico again, isn't it? It's seemingly everywhere. Omnipresent. 3 players strong in connector with Neo, who was in window, but now that the smoke is cleared, subsided. mousesports looking to sweep away the terrorists. They know where Bialy is. It's only a matter of time before he falls. He is going to get a P250, a dink, and finish off frag onto Dennis, but Chris J's AWP is still large and in charge. 15-8 Virtus.Pro now. Full AKs. Fairly decent buy, but the problem is they've got to win the next 7 on the bounce. And they've been able to put together more than 2 rounds this entire matchup so far. However, there is another map coming up after this. It's going to be Cobblestone. Virtus.Pro, certainly no scrubs on that map either. We will have to see if they can best mousesports. Chris J will open up round number 24. 2 kills for him. Looking pretty solid. Neo gets flashbanged as he tries to make a move towards the connector. Meanwhile, Bialy moving into the site. He's going to pick up the kill onto Shadow. The problem is, though, that you can see he was caught in 2 minds whether he should keep facing or go for the utility to allow the rest of his team to come in. And in doing so, that's going to cost him not just his life, but also Neo's. Leaving Pasha in a 1-on-3. Chris was on for the ace, but instead he will finish this with 4 frags. And across to Cobblestone we will trek. Very convincing victory in the end for mousesports. Next coming in proved to be able to share his burden of the weight. Everyone really pulling a pretty similar amount of frags in the end. So, pretty solid map of Counter-Strike for mousesports. Virtus.Pro will be reeling, but they have Cobblestone to try and make amends. Gonna be right back with some music, guys. When you rejoin us, will be live from the final map of tonight's proceedings in the EU side of the ESL Pro League between VP and mousesports. Be right back.